Oh, so we're actually on now?
Okay, it's recording now.
Oh,
So yeah, we're going to have everyone from the wakeboard camp drop in. We've got Bob, Sitchell, Hayley behind me, Beck, Gange, myself, Ben Greenwood, and Kurt Robinson will hopefully be stopping by in a little bit. Angie, who is at the wakeboard camp, there's kind of a set schedule for people to ride. So you get to ride in the morning, lunchtime, and at night.
I think your mom's in.
My mom?
Maggie?
Oh, hey mom! Love you!
That's awesome.
So these guys will talk to you about the camp and answer some questions. Oh, she loves you.
She said hello to you
That's
too.
nice.
Say hello to Bob too, Mum. Bob's sitting here.
Hi. You can't see me.
Come
Move out
to
the screen.
Johnny's. Amber's having dinner at the moment. Her mum's here.
Pad Thai?
Not pad thai. Mum cooked a homemade meal.
Where's the rest of the crew?
Hello, gang. Alright, so as Amber said, we've got a whole crew from the wakeboard camp here. Kurt Robertson, who is one of my main coaches, has just arrived. And Ben.
Oh, Mum.
Hi.
Oh, beer!
There's none of that.
What am I right? Didn't
Hi.
see you.
Didn't see you to Bob.
How's it going?
Oh.
Yeah. Just couldn't see me.
Ben behind me.
Yeah, come sit down.
I'll
Oh,
go behind
How's your name?
there you go.
That's good.
Here you go.
Hi, internet.
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're on now, but
Well, there's
Really?
there's one over there.
My mum's pretty much said everything.
can you see everyone?
What else did she want? We have to give Mum a beer first.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, oh, beer! So she's like, give me a beer too.
Benny G, what up?
Hi.
Hi.
Not much. Is up.
Beer.
Has anyone noticed that we're on the screen backwards?
Yeah.
Get in.
I tried skipping side to
Come on,
side.
Bob.
Everyone hug. This is how close we are at the wakeboard camp.
See Kurt, though.
No, that's
Maybe
alright.
try.
I can sneak in occasionally.
Oh, Ben's
hi.
out now.
Yeah, I'll just pop in randomly.
This is really slow. Amber, come on.
Stop the shine.
Tristan's giving me advice on what to do.
Oh yeah.
He's like, if you have no questions, just tell stories.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's too
Bob,
weird.
you go first.
I can't wait.
It says, Benny G, love your day in the life on video.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wonder who wrote that. Good friend Brett Brinkerhoff came out for the day and shot that. And it was pretty cool. Got the whole thing from riding twice to going to the airport and everything in between. It was fun. And Bob was in it.
Yes.
Do you feel intimidated by the meme?
And for Haley and Amber, does she feel intimidated by the man? Is that Amber or? The only man I feel intimidated by is Ben Greenwood.
Gives you goosebumps.
Amber, do you ever feel intimidated by the man?
No.
No.
Hey, watch this maneuver.
I've just been drinking in front.
Can I come outside the
Juice. Yeah.
I have
to go.
Yeah.
29. He's still 21.
Who? What's it say?
It says, I hope I grow up to ride just like you.
And you're 29?
Oh, I'm 29.
Yeah, you got a couple years to catch up.
Do they fly? They used to wake up and they fly.
I thought that died a couple years ago.
They wouldn't give it
Yeah,
back.
it's still good.
No. Somewhere that never dies.
Haley's was the best at Worlds that first year. You send a message saying, I want to be just like Amber. I used to wakeboard.
Now I fly. Do you get to travel a lot? Do you get to travel a lot?
Yeah. I'd say, yeah, most of the coaches get to travel quite a bit. Hey, we run low on charge.
Yeah, we are.
Uh-oh.
Batteries
Charge.
gonna die.
Yeah, I'd say probably,
Uh-oh.
Amber. I'd say,
Oh, no one's seen me.
yeah, Amber and I travel the most probably, and then all the different coaches are kind of in and out of town for different reasons and different trips.
Yeah, because we're heaps cool.
Heaps. Cool. That means very for those of you that don't know.
Australian.
We have power.
Nice.
Woo.
Back on. Yes.
I'm just really nice.
Are you cold?
Well, before I was up there and I was in a skirt and my legs were crossed, so,
Oh,
you know, for the safety of the camera. What size board do you ride, Ben?
I ride the 140, the Liquid Force Witness. 140.
140. Yes, Maggie, we can see ourselves. Hi, Maggie. Okay, you need to get in.
I'm in. I'm in.
You know
I'm
it.
getting close.
Hi. Am I the only one standing?
That's funny.
Who is that?
Bob's standing too.
Yeah. That's why I'm just a little bit taller.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I have an Omega 35.
I'm all for it.
Oh, you should not go to the witness at all.
What?
We need it.
Oh, Omega. Yeah.
It's a mess, I
Yeah, the Omega. I rode that
Okay,
for a couple
electronic.
years, and then I got to design my own shit.
Like
So,
acupuncture? I've got one pair here.
trying to answer this question. Yeah. So part of the a lot of the Witness actually like is sort of branched off from the Omega. So a lot of the like really forgiving parts of the Omega that make it a really consistent fun board to ride went into it. So yes, you will enjoy the change. Oh, is that the one that said he's 29?
Oh, and I have it, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate it. You know, I was like, yeah. No, I agree. Like as you get older, you start to learn how to ride smarter. You know, it's not necessarily, 120% every time you go and ride. You know, just injuries take slightly longer to recover from. But like in saying that, I feel just as good now as I did a couple years ago. Like even 5-6 years ago. So plenty of time.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take a photo of us on a Stoke meter.
Okay, well, this is gonna be insane.
That is going to Facebook for sure.
We're gonna create an internet wormhole.
Didn't really
Hey guys, I'm trying to start out an extreme water sports business. I would be honoured to send you free shirts if you'd like them and would wear them. What do you think? Yeah, send your stuff to the wakeboard camp. Check out wakeboardcamp.com and the address will be on there and you can send everything there. Work. Who's at work? Is that Nick? Thank you.
English John, yes, you're correct. I actually am 43 years old.
How much weight in your boat and what line length do you ride, Ben? And what speed?
Hot's big and fast.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of weight. Probably, I don't know, anywhere between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds, I guess. Hard to say. But ride about 87 feet, you could say. 80, 85, 87, and about 26 miles an hour. You should try that.
The other two behind, this is Beck Gange, an Aussie ripper, kills it, and Bob Sitchell, another ripper.
I just hang out.
What up, English John? At the moment, I'm working on a few different things. Been working on a few different things for quite a while now, with no luck. But hopefully at the end of the year, I'll join Amber with her peep mole. Have a few more moves and a couple more spins that I'm working on. Would be awesome.
They asked if you were there when she landed it from Pete.
Was anyone there? Her first one, I was not. She was in with Nicola and her Oakley team manager. But I've seen her land one so far.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome. Yeah, Shane. Ben's actually done about 3,500 Pete Roses, we calculated.
Yeah, it's an estimate, approximately, give or take a couple hundred.
Oh, I've got something cool. Ben, when was your first Pete Rose ever?
Is that?
No, I made that up.
It was 3,500 ago.
Yeah, my first Pete Rose ever was off a double up in a contest in New York State. I had been trying them all summer, but never landed one. And back then, it was kind of the thing where you just try to learn every trick off the double up. Like I actually learned Rayleighs and hoochie glides off the double up too. I wouldn't suggest that.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
The banging in the background is Amber and her mom and my brother eating dinner. Beck, I've seen some videos of you. You were really ripping it up as well.
Oh, thank you.
Not at all.
It looks like a design.
Love seeing you.
Spilt my wine.
This is for you. Are you writing for company? I had no idea.
Yeah. Like a few months ago, I got the opportunity to write for company and just go on. So, yeah.
How are the company wakeboards?
They're cool. They're
Check on the hands on.
like Tino's board and the recruit board are really good on rails and at the cable park, and then Randall's board is awesome on the lake. It's a little stiffer than the other boards, and it pops really good and consistent. So, I definitely recommend it.
You should.
Hi, Jeff and Leanne. We really miss going to Atlanta and seeing you.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to come back to Aqua so we can stay with you guys.
It wasn't the same not being there. We don't know. There's only women on 2 events and 2 stops, and unfortunately we couldn't do
The other
that.
guy is Kurt.
Oh, a kid.
This is Kurt
Hi.
Robertson.
He's a legend, bruh.
Let's get into massage.
Who's the older dude that looks like Ben that keeps popping on the screen?
He's been coaching for
It looks
about
like Ben, is that
10 years?
That's
How
my
many years have
double.
you been at the camp, Kurt?
Like 11 years.
11 years. Kurt's been coaching at the wakeboard camp.
Oh man, come on.
Sorry.
But I am doing my best to look like Ben, if that's
I'm
what
leaving
that
that.
dude said.
Dinner was amazing. Yeah, chicken, rice and veggies. How can you really go wrong? Thank you. Black.
That one, if there's a video of your Pete.
There is a video of my Pete. Go to wakegirls.com and it's on there. You can check it out. We have Malibus at the camp. They're V-rides. We have 4 of them at the camp. And then Ben and I have 24 Supras. We have 1 each. So so we all go out behind those as well.
Dane is here, but he's helping the mother-in-law clean up. Did I say that?
Really? Really? He's doing the dishes, as you should.
But
Beck, are you competing as well this year? Good question, Beck. Are you going to be coming to Texas?
Probably not to Texas. I will be going to Nationals and Worlds because I have money for that.
And, oh, come on.
Probably
Beck,
not the
you
other
should-
places.
You should come.
When is it?
Like in 2
I'm gonna
weekends.
tell all my Facebook friends.
Bob, do you ever get mistaken for Bob Sovin?
He's not as funny.
He doesn't have a
No.
throw either.
Yeah. Not ginger.
Beck, what are you riding?
Sorry Ben, but I'm riding the jet.
Ow!
But with
Yeah,
Shane
yeah.
Barnes because my feet are too big. I have to ride my own standards.
Ooh. Haley, nice pic of your indie poking alliances May issue.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Shout out to Black Diamond and to English.
Black Diamond.
Black
Where are
Diamond.
you at? We're at Haley's and my house
Oh, that was nice.
And Bronwyn's.
and my mother's.
Oh, look at this one. This is in capital letters.
You are the most stylish rider
That means you have to
alive.
Ben,
You are the most stylish rider alive!
Thank you.
Thanks for your writing!
Thanks for your compliments.
I like that it's fork.
Hey, and just hit the caps lock button. It's just on your left.
Otherwise, Haley will keep on yelling every time you type. She'll find it hilarious every time.
Oh, English, you said?
Oh, hi, English.
Damn straight I am.
Yes, you.
I'm real sweaty. I don't know what's sweating.
She rather suck because ours doesn't. The weather in Orlando right now, or in Claremont, where the wakeboard camp is absolutely amazing.
Sweating.
We've got glassy lakes. It's 90 plus degrees with the water being 90 degrees as well.
Sweating.
And made for good times, good days in the boat.
I love it when Aussies are on.
Yeah, we
Well, you're not even on there.
She's an Australian, wrote that, didn't they?
Kurt
Let's
is a
zoom
Kiwi.
out.
He's from New Zealand. It's an island that's not quite as big as Australia.
Now,
or
Kurt,
Tasmania.
you have to move across just a little more. Oh, there he is.
Don't forget Kurt.
Do you all ride Supras?
We ride Amber and
I'm
Ben's
in.
Super.
Oh, yeah, right. We'll sit up here.
When they're lucky.
No,
Yeah,
I'm cool.
if they're
I
nice
like
to
it on the
us.
side.
no
Yes,
teams
sir.
together.
What does it cost for a camp now for the week?
New Zealanders,
$16.25 for a full week.
It's on it. Chris.
including 3 lessons a day, food and accommodation, all for a cheap price of $16.25.
You haven't got your hands going. Look at it.
And the price is right.
Don't ever look.
New Zealanders are crazier than Aussies.
Not this one. There's nothing
Who wrote
crazy
that?
about
Ben, is your board still the same shape as last year?
It is. We went with the it's perfect, so don't change it thing. Well, the graphics will be different.
It's not broken, don't fix it.
Uh, any spare boards, let me know and I'll give you an address to send them to.
No broken ones.
Yeah. Why don't you all do more shows from the wakeboard camp? This is priceless.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank you.
Amber, do you think you will ever stop riding? Probably not.
Not after watching Amber's mum rip it today.
Yeah, today my mum came out in the boat when we all rode and everyone was finished riding. Mum got out there, absolutely ripping it up.
Yeah,
And
I
she'll
think
kill me when I tell you, but she's 57.
I think the next question's for me.
She's awesome.
Do any of you wake skate?
My mum's 55.
Yeah.
So.
Haley, are you gonna field that?
I'll jump in on that one. I would like to point out that I took 4th in my first wake skate contest at the Penrith Cable Park at Roaster. After 3 months of wake skating, I actually schooled the rest of the field. And thank you to English Chris for painting my wake skate.
Wow.
Has the economy slowed down the
Very-
camp any?
Not really. We're still fairly busy, which is awesome.
Beck, do Amber and Haley teach you a lot in skateboarding?
Skateboarding?
She meant wakeboarding.
Oh. When I ride them, yes.
Woo, Penny. Yeah, Penny. We miss
I
Penny.
believe we now skateboard much better than
Bobby, are you competing this
we.
year?
Amber and I don't really often get to ride with Beck anymore. She has her own little crew at the camp.
Yeah.
But luckily he's gonna leave soon and we'll get her back.
Yeah.
Bob, are you competing this year?
I was thinking about doing nationals, but I'm not quite sure yet.
Did you do wakeboard?
No, haven't done any so far.
Amber, did you always have a wakeboard boat? What boat did you start riding behind? My first boat I started wakeboarding behind was a Camaro Strata 2000. It was a ski boat, and if I put weight in it, like just an extra, I don't know, 100 kilos or less, it would overheat. So, because it was 10 years old, had 1,000 hours on it in salt water.
That's awesome.
To Haley, how often have you been wearing the purple suit lately? Your efforts at Stop were appalling.
Sorry, Steve Hahn. I would like to point out that I did do an early morning McDonald's run for Cheesies and provided yourself with cheeseburgers one morning. I did not purple suit that morning.
Ben, are you going to continue competing this year? I was pretty pumped to see you progress so well at the first event this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I
biggest
might.
cheating section.
I did. I might. It's the way I've kind of approached every year over the last couple of years is like if it works and I can be at a contest, then cool, I'll be there. But if I've got another trip planned or a photo shoot or something like that, you know, I'll usually do that. So I might be at nationals this year. It's still up in the air, but yeah, that's about it.
Shows that freestyle riders can rock at contests.
Sometimes, as long as.
You're awesome! Ben!
Oh no, caps lock.
Steez! Ben, plan to be at Knoxville on the PWT in August then.
Yeah, actually, since I haven't done any of the tour events, I won't be qualified for that. So, like, don't you have to come in the top four?
Yeah.
Top, like
Yeah.
36 or something.
Haley, you totally look like one of the Spice Girls. Do a concert, please.
Yes.
Colours of the world. Spice up your love. Every boy and every girl. Spice up your love. Number to the left. And
Okay, that was it.
Aww. Hope you like the concert. So I have a 1992 Centurion and I love it, but I need some more balls with all the weight I add. Any ideas on props?
Oh, no!
Should get a 4x
Who's a
prop
meat
or
wagon?
something. No, just
What was that?
Bob?
Should get like a bigger pitch in the prop, right?
It's actually lower pitch.
Or a lower pitch.
Yeah, I think. Because that means it spins faster through the water, so it can.
So it'll get out of the
Fires
hole.
more with it,
Yeah. So yeah, like a high altitude prop works pretty well. It's like low pitch, high torque. If you go to your local boat store, I'm sure they can help you out. Usually like they call it a 14-14 prop. Works pretty well. It's like 14.25 by 14. It's like inches and the degrees. I don't even know, but that's what we have on ours, and it pushes a lot of weight. Props really make a big difference.
What's up, meat wagon? Thanks, Highway. We try. Beck, what tricks are you working on right now?
Right at this very instant.
Right now.
No, right now. No.
What am I working on? I've tried to get crew rooms back, but they're still on holiday. I landed a hillside 5 again today.
Oh, yeah.
And tried some 7s of the kickers. And behind my bat wings, roll the blinds. Yeah, that's
Nice.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
Trying.
Ben, what is it like to be around all of these adrenaline junkies?
Oh man, you even know, it's crazy.
Are you all going to be at Brostock this year? Stinks that it isn't at Pound. Well, we all are going to be at Brostock.
Yeah, it should be good though that Bull Shoals in Arkansas is a really cool spot, and they're ready for us, like open arms. I just talked to Matt Gleason.
Keep it down back there.
Who is the guy setting it all up, and all the Liquid Force guys are setting it all up, and he said they just visited, and that place is like so pumped that we're coming. Whereas Lake Powell, after a while, I think we kind of overstayed our welcome, and some of the state park people didn't want us there. The marinas wanted us there.
For those of you who are of age, the Bull Shoals is actually providing a beer truck for Brostock.
Really?
Wow.
It's quite amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
For the women, were you always motivated to continue wakeboarding, or did you encounter difficulties? Beck?
I mainly rode with guys, so, and I always have to be better than a guy. So I think that motivated me. I never really, there was sometimes that, you know, you took about 300 until you got your first flip, but no, I never really lost motivation.
I was up and down throughout high school, partying, and had other sports that I kind of wanted to pursue a bit more. I was really into horse riding and kind of wanted to go that direction, but after always following what my brother did, I kind of threw myself into wakeboarding and let go of the partying at home and kind of started to try and make something of myself.
I've had my ups and downs as well. Like I'm always stoked on wakeboarding, but there's definitely been like a couple of small periods in the last 10 years that I've like needed to have a month off or so. So
Oh my God, Australians.
a beer truck, yes, a beer truck. Where?
Is that
Yo,
still the
Bob.
same person with the
You're
cat?
so quiet back there. Speak up, man.
Bob,
How's the Shred Town crew?
Awesome. Unfortunately, Andrew broke his leg at like a cable contest, or like not a cable contest, but a contest in France, I think. And hopefully he'll be back soon. But yeah, I guess they're just moving back to Texas. I don't know.
Holy crap.
Besides from the wakeboard camp, where are your favourite places to ride?
What is
In
The other lakes around the wakeboard camp.
the other lakes around Claremont, the northern coast of New South Wales in Australia has some amazing rivers that are untouched.
that? So
Kelly Brook.
I've ridden on some really cool rivers in Tennessee and just pretty much all over. Rivers are always pretty sweet. Like
Bungalong.
Louisiana, down at Ruckus, Chip's place.
There are so many places all around the world that are amazing.
Well said. Way to sum up that time. Let's move on to the next one.
Brazil.
I just
How
gotta remember
legit are the Shred Town? They seem so crazy. No fear. Legit.
Where are all of you originally from, and how did your location impact on your wakeboarding?
Who's that for?
Well,
Nice.
I'm originally from Sydney, Australia, which
That's AUS.
just south, and grew up on a river called the Port Hacking River, which Hayley grew up on the same river. And you know, if you didn't have a boat, you knew someone who had a little John boat. So, yeah, that kind of influenced us being behind a boat doing something. Okay.
What's that? Question?
Where are you originally from, and how did your location impact on your wakeboarding?
I'm from Beavertown, New Zealand. Actually, it's Blenheim, but originally in the old days it was called Beavertown. No joke. But we have a river like right in town, basically. So for wakeboarding, we could be on the river riding like 5 nights a week after work. It was kind of a 10-minute thing just to go wakeboarding. And well, now it's a little easier because we have our boats on the water, but in the real world, when you trailer it, that was handy. So it was good to just get out a lot, and it didn't take much effort. Got boys down there.
Boys, bruh. You guys? Wakeboarding? Location? Affecting where you live? Was it?
Where are you originally from, and how did your location impact on your wakeboarding, Bob?
I'm originally from Northern California, and we used to always just go out on the weekends, like weekend warriors, get up real early on a Saturday. So I think only being able to go out then, like, really made me want to try stuff or just take advantage of the time we had.
Beck, where are you originally from, and how did it affect your wakeboarding?
I'm from a little place called Mildura in Australia. It's about
Mildura
12 hours drive
in
from
Australia.
Sydney, from these girls, and I ride on the Murray River, which is like 5 minutes from my house, so that's really handy. And I know my dad was always into skiing, so we took our little redback boat down the river, and
And Ben.
I'm from the Northeast, where it's freezing cold most of the year. So yeah, same as kind of what Bob said. Like when you do get the chance to go ride, you used to just try every trick that you could think of. It was such a limited period of time, and then moved down. I moved in with Keith Lyman, who you all know and love. And yeah, then my riding like really took off, and same thing with being around the camp and stuff. Just takes it to the next level being down in Florida for sure.
Ben, what do you do to keep from burning out in the sport?
I don't know. I think just the fact that I have been lucky enough that I haven't had to do the contest grind, I think that helps. Like just because I can truly say that I've been able to ride like exactly the way that I've wanted to over the years. I think if I wasn't lucky enough to kind of fill that spot, I'd say that it's hard, man. Like the guys that grind it out every weekend at the contest and all that stuff, like it's really hard work, and I can definitely see how you could burn out off that. But I think I've just been lucky that I've gotten the support to do, I don't know, just kind of ride the way that I want to. So yeah, that's it. I saw an ROT line there.
Well,
Because you gotta.
for like us that do endless summers, when we get home from our US season, we've done an Aussie season, come straight over, done the US season. So, like, I mean, personally, I try to have like time off and make myself.
Wait, I'm on that.
Ben Greenwood, congrats on that Pete Rose amber. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, no problem. I just typed that to you, I guess.
Bob, it's Julian. There was a shot of someone hitting a down rail in a lake near a camp.
Oh, that
Was
was
it you?
Kaysen.
Yeah, that's cool.
Kaysen Soda.
The Australian mag?
It was.
Yeah.
Why can't Beck land a cable back roll?
She can.
She can.
Who said that?
I don't know. LOL.
Go back to your delay.
She so can. Beck's all
I've
over
done it-
cable.
I've done it in
Like a
contest.
rash.
Isn't that crazy? The delay.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Uh,
I hate that.
That's awesome.
I think for like buying a winch, I'd definitely suggest to get an Urban Rider winch, because they're Aussie and we know them. Says, do any of you or winch any suggestions as to which one to buy?
Urban Rider.
we-
UrbanRider.com.
We took an Urban Rider winch on the road. It was Haley, myself,
And the price.
Beck,
Yeah,
Melissa, Shelby, all the girls, and it was awesome. Super easy to use, and yeah, always worked. So Urban Rider. Ben, where is the Northeast? Ben, love your riding, bro. You've got to come out and do some more clinics.
Yeah, always open for clinics. Hit me up on Facebook. In the Northeast, it's easy. Just look at a map and follow the legend. It's like the upper right direction.
Amber and
Always.
Haley, is it hard to compete against each other while being friends?
Not
No.
really. We met at, it was my second contest, it was Amber's first, so we kind of...
It's always been that
That's how
way.
it is.
And like we want to, like I'm there standing on the dock watching Haley ride, and I want to see her ride the way that I see her ride every day behind the boat and go well, and go well in the contest, and if we're in the same heat, pushes me to ride good too. We both push each other, so it's a really positive.
Like it's kind of, we both want to see each other do good, and it pushes ourselves to want to ride well. I want to beat Amber, she wants to beat me. It's how it is.
But if like one does bad, then we're like, if Haley rides bad, I'm bummed for her, and she feels the same way. And if she stands up her 2 passes, I'm so stoked for her, and so is she if I do.
So it's just a win-win situation. We also compete against Beck, and it's the same way with Beck.
How do I pick up a female wakeboard pro? What is the what's like your
Age.
Put in
What
your
is it?
your
Age
bio.
Age ASL? Is it age, sex, location?
Yes.
ASL. Haley's single.
I'm better than Haley Amberling. Hello, Dean. Oh,
No, my computer doesn't work.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know. I started wakeboarding. Do you always want to be a pro when you just start out riding, or does it kind of just fall into place?
Have I landed any tricks yet? Are you on?
No.
Yes,
No,
Dean is
I
getting
can't
his
hear
own Urban Rider winch, and I think you just fall into becoming a pro at a sport. You start a sport because you love it, and you do it every day because you love it. You don't you know, pick up a sport and go, I'm going to be pro at this. Well, I mean, I didn't.
Look at we would be right. That's pretty funny.
Are you really friends? No. Ben,
None
did
of
you
us
ever
are
think of
friends.
using the
Yeah.
wind meter to
Mm.
like,
So what?
Houses.
Ben, have I landed any new chicks lately? Are you still part of the LF Maven? 29, very rich, handsome, and
29's too old.
Yeah, you said very rich, so that should make up for a little bit.
Doesn't make a difference.
At least so
Haley,
that
remember
would be-
you are turning.
19.
you can send in your resume on Facebook.
Will Facebook screen you?
Full name, she'll Google you.
Bob is a hottie. Thanks from Julian.
Ben Greenwood, Bob is a cutie.
I do. I think Bob's a cutie.
I just want to pick him up and
Put him in your pocket.
We still
It's
have
never
like
else
the
now.
LF girls thing going. Not so much the Maven thing. It's kind of like not really pushing that so much at the moment. But yeah, we still have the full girls line, and you know, Melissa and I are still heading the women's team. So yeah, and we're still making the LF women's product to hopefully how all the ladies love it.
Boards and boats.
Alexa's better.
As far as what is the best combination for big tricks as far as boat size, weight, etc.
This combination.
As
Oh.
far as a boat.
Big.
Well, I mean 24.
Big is happy.
Yeah, Super 24 pretty much covers all your bases on that. I'd say.
And yeah, the way that Ben and I have our boats loaded, if you can overweight them because they get on the plane so easy. So if the weight's curling over, got to take a little bit out. What big trick are you going to work on now, Ben?
I don't know. I've gotten a couple new tricks for Kilgus's new video. Well, Danny and Kilgus's new video. So stay tuned for that, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna keep it a surprise because I don't really have anything specific. A 1080. I'm working on a 1080. We'll just say that.
Is anyone ridden behind a 98 Targa pre-2050? You guys should come to Knoxville, Tennessee on Thursday nights. We have a rail jam at Wild Wings Cafe.
Yeah, I've been there.
It's not that far.
I went to that with Jeff when he was in the picture. It's pretty funny.
It's like a little one.
Yeah, yeah, 2 inches, and then there's like a flat box and like an apron with like boat in the middle, or like a
Yeah, sweet.
rooftop, whatever you wanna call it. It's pretty cool.
You're like getting paychecks. So.
An old Z1. No, haven't ridden behind a 98 Targa. That was
Oh wait, old school tag is that? I've ridden behind that. Lyman used to have one. I can't remember what year, but the wing was really good. It was really big back then. At the time, it was the biggest wake I'd ever ridden, for sure.
How did he load it?
How did Lyman load it? Oh man, I don't remember. We were really broke back then, and we used to fill those big 5-gallon jugs full of sand. I would suggest that you do not do that. But yeah, I can't remember how we weighted it. I think probably pretty nose heavy, but I don't know.
We're thinking 2 250s, one on each side.
In the back, maybe? Yeah, maybe in the back. And then definitely want some up front. And then a bunch of people.
It's a lead.
Full tank of
Sorry,
gas.
that's kilos, not pounds.
Ooh,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
times
that's 500 pounds. Yeah, that's perfect. And then another 250 up the front.
kilos.
Kilos.
Yeah, don't
It's like those.
come in kilos.
No, those 250
How do they-
litres.
They're pounds, aren't they?
250
They're
litres.
litres, okay.
250 litres, 500.
So a liter is a
What-
kilo, right?
Correct.
A litre.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
What is a kilo? Cocaine.
Ben, are you really engaged?
Am I really engaged?
You let that out.
No. See?
Still.
Because some guys wear rings, right?
No.
500 pounds.
Sweet. Thanks for the whatever. Translation, Jay. Beck, what is the coolest thing about riding in the States as an up-and-coming rider?
Ooh.
Oh, dang.
Good question.
This fabulous question.
What's getting to hang out with these guys?
Thanks, Pete.
The coolest thing about riding in I don't know, getting to meet all the pros, I suppose, that's pretty cool. I have to admit, Ben was my favourite rider. Oh, still is. That was pretty exciting to be able to go riding with him. So,
You just don't want to go in the boat when he yells.
I don't yell to the
And going to getting to go to OWC like every week. That's
To Amber and Haley, what is it like having what looks to be the biggest Aussie contingent of Groms ever in Orlando this year? Do you feel there is an adequate amount of initiation process involved for the up-and-coming riders?
Stephen, can you please make your questions a little easier to comprehend?
It's quite long.
Do you feel there's
And-
an adequate amount of an initiation process involved?
I don't do initiation processes for Groms.
Are you
I don't
talking about
even call
grommy?
them
Are you
Groms.
calling grommy bashing, Stephen? If you're talking about grommy bashing, there's definitely not enough grommy bashing out there. We should bring back the grommy bashing, like putting grommets in board bags and zip tying them together and hanging them from a tree. I always thought that was a good initiation process.
Any
Harley
movies?
Clifford was.
Harley
put in.
Clifford got that one.
Yeah.
Who?
Harley Clifford.
I don't
Oh, you
know.
don't know? He's just a grommet.
Yeah, he's a grommet.
Is
He's
he-
an up-and-coming.
Is he any good, you think?
Any new movies you guys are
Good.
shooting for currently? Ben.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be, I was invited to be a part of Danny Harf's movie, so I'll maybe have a couple chicks in there, which I'm very excited about.
And Bob shooting it.
Anybody else?
Bob, what company board are you riding?
I'm riding Vandal's board behind the wake, and then the Recruit 139 at the cable parks.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
good.
and back
Good
to the
planning, easy.
movies thing. Well, Haley and I are always shooting for WakeGirls.com, so
Yeah. 2 angles
yeah,
now.
if you want to check out what the girls are up to, just go to WakeGirls.com, and we're always posting up new little videos, updates.
Exciting clips.
What boards do you all ride?
Kurt.
Classic 38. Classic 38 with Ultra Socks.
Best buying example.
Yeah.
The new Ultras.
The new
Bob,
Ultras.
The Vandal 140 with the Vandal binders.
Beck,
the 136 jet with massive chain bindings.
Ben,
The 140 Liquid Force Witness and the Limited Ultras.
136 Jet with the wing boots.
And I ride a 35 Runix Dahlia with Faith, Hope, Love bindings in the smallest size possible.
Do you all ride every day? Yeah, we try.
Try to keep up our fitness.
Pretty much ride every day.
Jim.
What
Oh,
are the
man.
craziest things you have ever seen as a pro wakeboarder? It's very difficult to
There's
say.
quite a lot of.
This is a family show, I can't.
Haley,
It's pretty awesome stuff.
such suggestions shouldn't come from someone who fits in a board bag.
Thanks, English.
Very true.
My
Jackass.
girlfriend rides the 132
Oh.
Jet with wing. I ride J-Star Brigade Thunder. Stoked. Love your girlfriend's setup.
English, I hope you're holding down at Penny Cable. Jealous.
Is it cold yet? How's the first day of winter, English?
Welcome to winter.
Hey.
Welcome to summer.
English, you gotta send me those photos of me chasing the kangaroos. Except for the one where I look a little dainty. But it was just I was mid-stride, so it's, it's excusable.
I hope you guys have been going to Schnit Face and getting Schnit Faced.
Bright and sunny, warm. No, that is
No
not-
suits needed.
Wow.
Words.
In Penrith? Really? Penrith? In the Roof? Hey, how's Penrith going in rugby league? I think they're-
Panthers.
Yeah.
I think they're in the top 3.
The Panthers.
How many times do you guys say stoked on an average day?
Not as much as we heard sick.
They say dead set all the time. Everything's dead set.
Dead set.
They'll say straight away, dead set.
Fish face mole.
Get me a burger.
I'm punching the face.
Benny,
Yes.
Garrett already has them.
Okay, cool. I hope they don't run the one where.
I hope they do.
Oh man.
You
it's
know
really
they're
funny.
going to.
They,
It's
Garrett,
really funny.
I hope you're watching.
Please do that.
Please.
It's pretty funny. But I'm mid-stride, I was changing directions, and this arm is just like, it's so funny. But there are kangaroos.
Do you do the jump off the boat when someone lands a long-awaited trick? We
used
do.
to.
Haha.
We don't. It's dangerous.
We used to do it a lot.
It's a liability.
We get in trouble.
In Australia, we do. If it's hot.
Ben, how do you keep from slipping out on your butt on Pete Roses?
You should ask Amber.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't really personally know now. I've been told how to, but I can't put that, those words into actions
Yeah.
quite yet.
After 3,500, we should know.
Yeah, I can do it after that many and not slide on my butt. No, I'd say like the biggest thing on Pete Rose is I think to make him really consistent is taking it away from the boat. A lot of times people that do the kind of Pete Rose that's really straight under, kind of like more of a toe side back roll sort of thing, you're kind of at the mercy of how hard you've thrown the trick. To where you're going to land. So especially if you're landing blind, which is like, the end of that trick, if you don't land perfect or you didn't throw it in like the perfect amount, a little bit of over rotation will make you slip out on your butt every time. So to fix that, you have to go back farther and just take the trick away from the boat. I really try to think of like a really load progressively, and then the nose of the board goes straight away from the boat. That way you can kind of bounce off that line tension and then pull yourself down into the landing. So unfortunately, like if you mess up on that part, you get hung up a lot, which I don't know if any of you guys saw me at weight games. Everyone thought I was going to die on a Pete Rose because I got hung up really bad, but still landed it. But that's actually, because I've done so many, approximately 3,500. No, that's like.
Party at 4,000.
That's how you avoid it, is actually by bouncing off that line tension and pulling yourself back down on the landing, so you can control how much of the trick gets thrown by using line tension. So rather than just straight underneath. So
And if you're still having problems with it, you should just come to wakeboardcamp.com.
yes.
And book in for a week, and Ben will teach you.
Yeah. And put in a request. Make sure some of the coaches, like Amber and myself, that travel a lot. People show up at the camp and say, you guys didn't coach us, but if we didn't know they were in town, then it's hard for us to do that. So make sure you put in a request for certain coaches, like Kurt's out of town here and there, one of the world's best coaches, so make sure you request Kurt as well.
Yeah, if you have a coach that you specifically, want to ride with, definitely when you're booking at the camp, ask if you can ride with them, and they'll sort out a week for you when they're around, and then you can ride with us.
Bean just doing himself a gold star.
I am.
Shout out to our employee of the month, Nick Dorsey. I hope he's watching.
Nick, where are you?
What trick should I practice before attempting a Pete Rose? Toe side rotary reverse.
Did you
Yeah.
want some?
Oh, Kyle has 10 of them, and if you come to the camp, he'll describe this all to you. But I would say what tricks really help with that, obviously getting a good
Oh, it
solid
does.
toe side roll revert, away from the boat. Not just the kind that you can land, that and you're pretty consistent on toe side roll revert. There's a specific kind of toe side roll revert that makes the trick a lot easier. And then also like late toe side, front side threes. And I like to teach people, like, same thing with toe side sevens or crow mobs or anything like that, learning how to pull yourself down and landing late. So doing like toe side stalefish frontside threes or toe side indie frontside threes, something that you have to switch hands and pull yourself late into the landing. That helps a lot.
I was getting really close to landing my peak, and then I went out with Bob for a set, and the whole set I just did toe side roll to reverts, like grabbing it and getting it dialed to like have the feeling and know exactly how like to initiate the trick for the peak, and then it was only like 1 or 2 sets after that I landed it. How much in the gym training do you recommend be on the water? Chad? Chad! Are you there?
Oh no.
We all are kind of
3
different.
sets in.
We're all kind of different in terms of gym.
James.
It's basically how your body feels. Like, you know, if you listen to your body, if you feel like you need, you know, your knees are starting to hurt, your shoulders are starting to hurt, you're feeling like a weakness in your body when you're out riding, something's like, you know, niggling at you, then that's a good idea to go in the gym and work on that part of the body and strengthen it up. But, like, you know, most of us, you know, in the off season go to the gym a lot, and then, like, in summer just are riding a lot, and riding every day, twice a day, 3 times a day keeps your fitness up and keeps your body strong. That, you know, sometimes you don't need to go to the gym as much as you do.
And it'd be a little bit of overkill too, because a lot of us have, you know, if we have photo shoots or contests or whatever, like, you don't want to be killing yourself in the gym and then being sore and tired, you know, for riding, because that's what, you know, we do. So if, yeah, we definitely taper off a lot during the summer, like spring and summer, and then get back in the gym quite a bit.
And also during
in the
spring and
winter.
summer, like, you know, you're wanting to learn new tricks, and you're riding strong and you're feeling strong on the water, so you want to go out and feel really fresh when you're trying to learn a new trick and have like all the energy to land that new trick. And, you know, when you go to the gym, then you go out in the boat, you sometimes feel a bit fatigued and a bit tired, so it's harder to learn, you know, new tricks or have the quality on the water that
Can
you
I
need.
ask the next question?
Please.
Yep.
Dorsey, do you folks do any kind of lifting? Lifting? Anyone? Lifting?
Hey, there's
At
Dorsey.
the gym?
I lift a lot of gas cans.
I like to lift spirits.
That was good.
Double entendre there, if you know what I'm saying.
I like to lift bowls of cereal.
Oh,
Yes,
touche.
that was really
Hi, Nick. Employee of the month,
No doubt.
looking like the cute Teletubbies.
all of them.
Who
What
knew?
happened to Wake Lab this year?
Ooh.
Good question.
I'm not sure. You have to ask, probably Pat Panakos might know, or any of the Red Bull guys. But we're totally not involved with that. So
The rail
We
is
don't
kind of
know.
in the middle of the projects in pieces.
How long can you ride on an average day?
Like,
As
are we
long as
talking
you
minutes?
want.
Or
How long can you go
We
for?
generally take like 2, sometimes 3 sets. That's what I
I
do.
tried to ride 4 sets the other day and go to the gym.
yeah, like probably like 20 to 25 minute sets. Like after, well, maybe even probably even like 15, 20 minutes where you can be really effective. And then kind of after that, with our schedules, we can kind of allow for that. Just try to be really effective for 15, 20 minutes, and then, you know, take a break and then ride again later. A lot of people that have to trailer their boat and all that stuff maybe don't have that luxury. So, you know, after about 20 minutes, you get pretty tired. It's hard to, you know, keep your form and all that stuff. A lot of guys take marathon sets, but, you know, that's good too. But most of us probably try to hit it hard for 15, 20 minutes and then ride again later.
Yeah. Sometimes I ride and Haley tells me to put my board back on and keep going because I just didn't ride for long enough.
I'm very good at that.
But I felt like I was getting tired, but I obviously wasn't.
Yeah.
So I just had to keep riding.
You're not good.
No.
No, not her. I think I'm good.
Well, you guys need time to up.
Said I've seen both Ben and Amber ride forever.
Oh, Dorsey. Yeah, right.
Supermen and women. Yeah, well, we were just born that way.
I don't ride.
Nicholas, you have no endurance? That's not what Beck said when your girlfriend was here.
What?
No,
Any gymnastics? Amber is the gymnast, and Beck has done a bit of rollerblading.
I don't know what
I
it's.
got really
I
lost.
mean, Haley says it, and gymnastics helps a lot with your aerial sense and knowing where you are in the air, and so once you learn how to leave the weight right, you can throw yourself upside down and land back on your feet easier than some other people
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's not a secret that two of the world's best women are like very high level gymnasts.
I'm definitely not a gymnast.
Dallas.
No.
Oh,
That was
okay,
proven.
I'm sorry.
That was proven today. No,
I thought you were a gymnast. No, Dallas and Amber, and then
Emily
like-
did a lot of gym as well.
oh yeah,
Haley's good on a horse.
true.
That's what he said.
Oh. And then I think Daniel Watkins, he's
Is it true that Randall Harris was a gymnast?
Randall Harris. There's an old video of Randall. It was a sound. It was like sound wakeboards, and it was like their promo loop. And we used to run it in the shop that I used to work at when I was like 16, 17. Well, probably by that time I was 18. I'm a couple of years older than Randall, but he's doing all these back handsprings down this like skinny dock. And I mean, I don't know if he had any training or anything, but the kid could flip.
Could flip.
And do back handsprings down a skinny dock, like 6 in a row. I would actually love to see somebody ask him that question in person.
I think I might ask him.
Well, he probably won't beat you up. But
Yeah, he will.
Randall's the nicest dude ever, and obviously can do anything on a wakeboard, so he might have some sort of training. I don't know.
Is it really that beneficial to ride a longer line? I've been riding for quite a while and can do a few moves and toe sevens, but I always seem to like a shorter rope, 65 to 70. Everybody seems to pester me about getting away back there. Do you think it would help my riding to lengthen it up? Kurt.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I think the benefit, if you're sort of really consistent at doing those things at 65 to 70, if you were to push your rope length out and maybe your speed up a little bit, you could start to do those tricks like maybe slower or grabbing them or holding the grabs longer if you're already grabbing them, and it'll just give you a little bit more time for what you're trying to do.
Just make it look better.
Right. Yeah. Like if it's depends on what you're trying to do with your wakeboarding. If you want to make the tricks that you do look better, give yourself a little more time up there to grab and poke and give it some steezy.
Beck, did you do any gymnastics?
I wanted to when I was a kid, but there was a waiting list, and then by the time I got a chance to, I didn't want to.
It's what happens in a country town. You're too tall.
But I did do it when I was 17 for like 2 years. I couldn't do anything, but it was good fun and good strength and stuff. So.
How many boards do you all go through in a year?
I've broken one in my whole life.
Yeah, I've snapped 1 in half. Well, 2 in half in my whole life.
You've broken one off a kicker.
If you're riding a lot of obstacles and rails and stuff,
Yeah,
you go
they
through them a
get
lot
beat
quicker and that kind of thing. But I can ride, the same board for 3 or 4 months without noticing it getting soft or anything, even beating on it, going in the flaps and stuff. So, but once you start hitting rails, it kind of softens up and kind of want a new one. And sometimes they snap if you run into stuff or transfer box or something like that. But
It's 3 a.m. where I live. Yeah, if you run into a transfer box, kind of need a new board. Happened to me at weight games. I know from experience.
You said it's 3 a.m.
How many boards do you?
It's 3 a.m.
It's
where
3 a.m.
I
where I
live.
live. Any tips on falling asleep? Glass of red wine or 2. Don't know how old you are.
Leave the lights on and turn the TV on.
See, that doesn't work for me. Works for Haley.
Even
So-
concussion will work.
Concussion. Ben, in
Get
interviews with Keith Lyman, he always says that you influenced him greatly in writing and in life.
Like again.
Do you guys grow up together or something?
no, we're from the same state, but we kind of met through a mutual friend of ours, and I believe he was like 15 or 16 when I met him, and I'm about 5 years older than him. So I'd say like when we first moved in together, he would have been 16, 17, but we lived together down here in Florida for the first 2 years. That was in like 2000, 2001. But yeah, Keith and I go back about 10 years. We didn't necessarily grow up together, but we met through wakeboarding, and I mean, it's funny that he thinks that I influenced him riding, because I watched him ride every day and learn new tricks and go bigger than is humanly possible on a wakeboard. But yes, I did straighten him out in life and tell him to not give cops middle fingers and stuff like that when you see him.
Amber and Ben, did you help each other design your boards? Well, Ben designed the board, and I got the opportunity to ride the hand-shaped one at Power when they were deciding on the final molded fin setup. So the board had like molded fin one way at one end and a different setup at the other. So yeah, I got to ride that with Ben, with Jimmy Redmond in the boat, and I told him what I liked, and what I felt when I rode the board, and yeah, but yeah, Ben did all the work on the witness shape, and then
I actually didn't shape it per se. It was all Jimmy, but I stood there in the room and told him what I liked. But yeah, it's been cool because that shape has obviously been around for a couple of years, and people are still digging it. So yeah, like what Forrest calls it, basically a classic shape that's hasn't disappeared yet. So it's pretty cool.
How did you get all the pros together? Well, this is the wakeboard camp crew.
This is our crew.
So, at the wakeboard camp, we, Haley and Beth make amazing meals for the campers, and Bob, Kurt, Ben, and I will coach there. So, yeah, we all live really close to each other, ride together. We're all there for each other, and
We're one big happy family.
it's all because of the wakeboard camp.
No doubt.
Haley, how have you liked riding for Onyx?
I've loved it. I started riding for Onyx almost a year now, and one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'm on a super cool team. I'm riding the same shape as my brother's board, and just like loving that board. I really do feel like it's changed the way I've been riding. But how can you not love being a part of a team with, you probably know a lot of the riders, Danny, Parks, Emily, Chad, a few big names. No, it's cool. Like, it's a really good little team, and I'm pumped to be a part of Onyx.
Thanks. Got to go to sleep. Thank you all for in front of me. This right here. Sweet dreams, Davey. Ruck just signed with Onyx as well, so he's another amazing rider on that team.
Just
Got
adding
to
to the high caliber of riders.
Go out with Alliance magazine the other morning and watch Ruck ride, and super styling and smooth rider for sure. Well, I think we're going to wrap this show up. Thanks everyone for tuning in, asking us questions. Glad you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all in a month.
Bye.
Bye.